Hey everybody, we are here now with Horry, and Horry would like to introduce Holly.
Yes, yes. How you doing, Karen? How you doing? It's been a while. It's been a while. I have the lovely Holly Hughes with me, and we are so far a nice item and very happy together. And I've been going through a lot of changes. I know that you've asked me where have I been, and I know I've asked you where have you been, and we talked all that out off air. But I wanted to give a just an update because I know that I've been MIA in the truth community for probably the past month and a half or so, and this is the reason why. uh, I was basically changing up my life, after the family thing blew up, and I moved in with Caroline and lived there for like a year, and then my time was up there, and I moved to actually in with her hairdresser of all people. Is a wonderful lady and friend of ours now, um, and during the course of that, like right when I was doing that, I was talking to Holly, and we just got really close and said, you know what, let's start a leg of life together. And I actually got her like set up the plane ticket and everything, got her down here, and here we are. And her family didn't even know she was going to stay.
Yeah.
It's kind of a surprise to them to be like, okay, I'm not coming back, but they had the jig should have been up. Still in Arizona. We just moved right down the line.
I came from Florida. That's where I lived for the past few years. Yes. I was I was sick the whole first week I was here, like because
No,
the
that too.
allergies and stuff, like it was terrible. The weather here is it's the same hotness of Florida, but it's just dry. It's like a blow dryer blowing on you. In Florida, you just step outside and you're like in a sauna, but here it's very dry. I'm kind of used to it now, though.
It messes with your sinuses. I know what she means. I had some dry sinus problems, and hers was just hurting and stuff for a while. But glad. I think you fully adjusted now.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Wow.
yeah. It's
So
fine.
your body does react to the different biome or whatever. It's great. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But it doesn't matter because like neither one of us pays attention to time or even what day of the week it is. So
We
the
both,
time thing doesn't bother
yeah,
me.
we're both two peas in a pod when it comes to like, okay, it's no like, all right, I'm going to bed. It's like, hey, you feel like going to bed yet? It's like 3 in the morning. It's like, no, I don't feel like it
I'm
either.
tired.
We're just gonna stay up, and then one of us will pass out, and finally I'll go pass out. But it's like we were up till freaking crack of dawn, and our sleeping schedule is out of whack as mine always is. She's totally like in sync with it. It's just hers as well. So
It's fine.
it's really cool to be two night owls together, doing life. And I'm trying to get her on board with the freelancing and stuff. And she's super camera shy, so I'm trying to break her out of that the shell. And it's really cool. But I think we did our first paid video, and we're gonna get some reviews on that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
But yeah, I've been working on a new studio. I know that you like to see what. All right, I got a new stinger and a new studio. So my transition thing. This is new. The grassroots think tank, and here's the medium shot where it's more zoomed out, and I have some TVs in the background displaying lovely videos from days of the past. Some popular truth or conspiracy videos are playing in the background, things you might remember, stuff from my show. So this is the FEIC 2018 commercial, by the way. There's Horry Sheet Show going on over there.
That's me.
There's Holly right there on that TV, and what you didn't notice before was that there is right behind Holly's shoulder, right here. That is a TV, very small TV that's playing nothing but women mud wrestling and making out, and it's my Easter egg of the studio. So if anybody's ever watching the stream, that's like a little TV. That's just playing something different,
I
but
need
it's funny.
glasses.
And this is the very far shot. I think we look like two giants in this, so I might have to change that. But
Yeah.
other than that, like this was something I've been working on, and of course the TV shot. Let me see if I can just pull up one of the other scenes here. This is pretty cool. The up close TV. So when I'm interviewing people or flat smacking, I have a big old TV set. It's actually not set up right. There's a little bit hanging off the bottom, but it's set up for other things right now. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. I think that covers the studio stuff. But yeah, I've been really hard at work just getting my finances in order to make a life together. And so not so much streaming as of late. Plus, you know, some of the things we've talked about off air about just the truth community in general right now is in my opinion, quite cancerous and toxic. And egos are just blowing up like the Hindenburg right now, and they're just being led ablaze into a disgusting cancer all throughout the community. It's just terrible. A lot of people I had a great respect for are now some of the most, would you say, infamous people in the flat Earth. So even the Christian-oriented people are going back towards their own kind, and there's nobody safe in this war of egos and people clawing their way to the top of something, as if it's something that needs to be an aim. I've always made my platform as sort of a way to talk about other people. When I think back on it, a lot of those people that I've helped just promote, it's like, I don't know, I didn't get the same kind of anything back either. So it's kind of weird. But I never asked for it. I never even expected it. But it's just the things that I've noticed. The community is very different than I would hope it to be. And yeah, we were talking about this off air. And that's how I feel as well. It's just a shame. I would hope that the community would come together or have come together by now. But what have we seen? It's just been segmented and segregated. And it's terrible. It's just a terrible thing. So there's reasons why I've stepped away from it. But I want to give another surprise. And this might come as a shocker, but it might not, because if anyone knows the lovely Holly Hughes, she is one of the spokeswomen for
Concave.
Concave Earth.
Yeah, I'm a concaver. I'm sorry.
That's a thing. It happened. Like robots following sheep off a cliff. Exactly. She was apologizing for being open-minded enough to go against the grain within the truth community, and I don't think apologies are necessary.
Well, it makes some people very mad. Like, they don't want to deal with them. They're like, give me a break. But you're not like that. Me too.
In the beginning, I was, but
not with me.
Not with you. But you know what made me look at Concave like that? Lord Stephen.
I didn't look at any of his stuff when I first started researching it. I stayed away from his
LCS,
stuff purposely.
Lord Stephen Christopher. Dude's the biggest. Like, it makes me gag. He's talk about ego. I think the guy is made of ego, and there's some human left in there somewhere. But he's stored a lot of information about the concave Earth, and he's a 3D animator, so he's got this all these designs and sparkly things and to support his theory, and the ideology behind it is fascinating, and it's a complete, in some people's opinions, a very much complete opposite ideology of a ball. It's the complete reversal. We're on the inside of the ball. That's what concave is. But as far as the planets and everything, the stars being on the outside, it's actually on the inside of the ball, like in a separate sphere inside the sphere. So it's called the celestial sphere. So anyway, that's what I meant to say. I introduced Holly as the concaver here of the two. I am not a concaver. I'm still a flat earther, to clarify. But what we're doing with the show is we're having flat Earth versus concave Earth discussion. I don't want to even call it a debate, because we've had enough segregation and separation. I want to try to take the community, and at least the community of more open-minded people and thinkers and movers and shakers, and put them back together and say, look, if we're going to work together at all for the good of the common goal here is to share the truth with the world. We're aiming for the same truth here, at least. We might be on different ends of the spectrum trying to get to the same truth, right? That's at least what we're doing. That gives us a common space. And if we can bring people together, pool funds, pool brains, put everything together, back together, and move forward, well, then I would like to do that. So I'm announcing on the 18th at 7 Central, the first Flat Earth versus Concave Earth discussion featuring JM Truth TV, Joshua Gennari, and David Weiss on the Flat Earth side. Me and Holly will be moderating, and on the concave side will be Josh Boliero and Borriello and Nayland. What's his name? I don't know his last name. I don't know if you've ever told me his last name.
I don't know if I know his last name.
Call him Nayland.
We'll call him Mercury too.
Mercury. All right. So Josh Borriello and Mercury Nayland. So it'll be the two of the biggest people I could find on flat Earth, or not really, but Anthony Riley wanted to join Sleeping Warrior, but JM Truth, I had given it to him first. So David and JM got together. It's going to be them two for flat Earth, and the others there for concave. I can't wait for that. We're moderating it. Mm-hmm. We're not going to let any name calling happen. Any
sarcasm. No. We just don't want anybody looking down on anybody or making fun of each other. No arguing. Just a discussion. If you want to know about something, then we'll ask each other. And all the concavers that are be on the show, like me and the other two, they were flat earthers first. So we were all flat earthers first. So we really understand. It's just really the flat earthers that don't understand concave is, I think, what it is. They how they say center of gravity, how you're being pulled down and that center is your center or whatever on the earth. That's kind of like with concave it's not really gravity, but it's like the atmospheric pressure is pushing you down. So you're in the middle, and everywhere you go, that down is down and up is up. So even though you're here and you can see somebody like 1,000 miles away, to us, if we can see that far, they may look like they're on the side. You get what I'm saying? Like the inside of the ball. So it's hard to explain.
I heard of that.
Well, that's what you were talking about, on how you can, like with Josh's video, where you can see land behind the boat. Like if it was flat, how are you seeing land behind the boat? So that's what we're trying to get answered.
Well, that's a good thing to get answered. And it's, again, I'm trying to bring some people that have a lot more knowledge about how light propagation works and atmospheric lensing and mirages, superior mirages, inferior mirages, looming hyenas, whatever the hell. One of the biggest reasons why we can't see forever. And we're not, for some reason, we're not trying over the right terrain. We're still doing too many things over water. And I understand water's flat, supposedly measurably flat, but it causes a lot of optical problems when you're looking at long measurements and experiments 10 miles or greater. Questions that we can look at when you look at concave Earth after you've already learned flat Earth. Concave seems bizarre until you see a couple of things that just we haven't answered on flat Earth, or that would support concave, and flat doesn't have an answer. And then you're thinking, okay, well, what else does concave have to offer? And then you start looking into, a lot of it is something we can't measure and can't experiment with, like everything pertaining to the dome, megachromatic meteors, and all this kind of stuff. We probably won't have a chance to nuke the dome and knock off a chunk of ice or whatever is said to be collected on it. But we can try to touch it. We can try to examine it. That's our common ground here as far as how can we move together with a common goal. Well, there's flat earthers that think there's a damn dome, and there's concavers that believe firmly that there's a celestial sphere made of some kind of glass?
Well, the sphere itself, some people think it's like a hard metal with holes in it, and that's the stars. But the majority of them believe that that's like kind of like dark matter, where it's like a liquidy type substance that just formed, and that's where all the stars are at, because it's solar luminescence, and it's
All right. If that's right. Kind of like what's in my aloe right now. These little bubbles that are frozen in place.
Can't see it. Like
oh, it's green and it's see-through. Look, it's making me see-through. That's fine. Sorry, that was a little mind-blowing. So she was talking about the stars. Some people think it's metal holes in the. Were you going to say something about the celestial sphere and the stars or anything?
Oh, what I was saying was that there's two.
She was going to say something.
Oh, well, I wasn't.
Did you? We just cut her off once. I'll remind everybody of what Math Powerland said about his thing. Math Powerland, I don't know what to think of him, but one of his parts of his story was that he got pictures or he got information from NASA, and when he was in with them, and he was told that the Earth wasn't a ball or whatever. He said if they showed him a picture of what the Earth really looked like, that he wouldn't be able to take it. Like, it would be so bizarre to understand. And I'm wondering if he meant that they knew it was concave, because certainly we were getting fake pictures of anything higher than how our planes can go. We're not sending rockets anywhere and taking pictures back. That's all been proven to be completely fake, and all CGI artwork, paintings, and data that's turned into graphics and illustrations. It's not real pictures. We're not sending rockets out and taking pictures of planets. That's evident when you look at Jupiter from 2014 and 2016, and they're using the same planet picture. How's Jupiter going to look the same 2 years apart? It's a gaseous planet. Everything's the same. The exact cloud formations are the same, except there's a blue aurora borealis on Jupiter. Like, I'm sure if you go look at the NASA.gov website, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about, I was going to say that some people think it was the metal in
the celestial sphere. No, I was just going to say that with concavers, there's a celestial sphere, which would be considered the dome. Then there's also there's a glass sky around the celestial sphere also. And most concavers think that there's two glass skies. And that's what you were talking about with the megacriometers, the ice sticking to the firmament.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we have common ground here as far as if we both, at least enough of us, believe that there's a dome, that we should put our heads together and try to find out if it's true. I mean, what does that take? A big enough balloon, a strong enough balloon, some new technology of a balloon, a material, or what is it going to take to get a balloon higher than the Kármán line?
Kármán line, yeah, 62 miles high.
That's our goal? Come on, humans. Where's your money? Put your money where your mouth is, you know? It's very highly considered. JM Truth considers that very highly because of how it all works, how the physics of everything work. The atmosphere acts like we're in a closed system. The vacuum of outer space is stronger than any vacuum or device or chamber we could possibly make here on Earth, really, and it's not sucking clouds up. Or there's a agreed upon natural gradient barrier between the immense power of the vacuum of space and our atmosphere. Like, there's something here that's acceptable. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's a barrier. There's some sort of barrier. Or we just don't fully understand what we think we understand as far as physics on some very, very basic levels. And I think there's room to consider that because of how they keep changing things in history. They keep rewriting our books. Look at the math system they're trying to make the kids learn nowadays with Common Core. There's easy stuff that they're making way too hard for us to want to understand. So we're either going to just take how they give it and it works for the most part, or what? Imagine if we just had Common Core math and we learned that, and somebody came and said, well, why don't you just add 1 + 1 and make it 2? And we'd be like, oh my God, it's like I have a calculator in my brain now. I think physics has been made like that. That we're trying to figure out if we can make hydrogen and oxygen turn into water. How do we combine hydrogen and oxygen and make it water, or make hydrogen and oxygen from water? H2O, right? Like, is that true? Is that even real? I think, especially when they were talking about that and the physics of gravity and things. So, very interesting people. If you haven't looked at them, Pete and Peter, I think, is the show. But I think we've been lied to. I think we lost Patricia. But yeah, I think I get the gist of what you're saying. Like, we lost Patricia Steer. She was one of the classiest people and the nicest people there in Flat Earth, and she can't take it anymore. You know, and that's a big kind of milestone for where we're at right now. Last I know, she was getting harassed at her doorstep by people and whatnot because trolls. And you know, it's just like, I don't blame her for that. Yeah, yeah, man. So that's what I heard. I mean, I'm assuming it's true, but it's like, yeah, she doesn't want that. Like, she just wants to be left alone at this point. I don't blame her. So I see where she's coming from. I mean, there's more than one reason why I'm still kind of not in the flat Earth thing all that much. I'm not doing the digest or flat smacks. I've been really busy, but I know there's one right there. There's one happening right on that. Oh, there's one. I hit the dome. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I love that. I mean, I like doing it too. I just, it was taking up a whole lot of my time, and I really thought the community would come together and help support what I was doing, so that I felt like I could do it and not feel like I have to get to work because I owe an enormous bill or whatever. And the thing was that, I've been doing that, and I've been spending hours and hours and hours, and I still only have about $35 of Patreon supporters a month. I appreciate that, but it's taken up way too much of my time, and I was looking at throwing everything I had away. But right when I was about to leave Caroline's place, I'm not lying, I had a decision to make. Either I find something to live for that allows me to still keep my items and feel like I can still flat smack and spread truth and participate like a normal person some kind of way. Either I find a reason to live that way, or I find a reason to do something completely radically different. Because I don't want to do video commercials. I don't care to have four walls and a roof over me. I don't care to sleep comfortably if I have to live so damn unhappy in life doing what it takes to just simply live. So I said, well, I'm okay with throwing everything away, getting a wonderful bike, a cool ass backpack, growing my hair long and sexy again, and getting a cool dog, and maybe one of those flags and a buggy and everything on the bike. I was like pimping it out, like thinking, yeah, that's my plan B. But I chose what? That's what I said. Like, I needed a reason to live. And when I told Holly, I'm about to throw everything away, this life sucks, this world is fucked, she goes, what? I just met you. That was the words.
I just found you.
I just found you, she said. I was just like, yeah.
Wasn't having it.
She was like, no, you're not. So she was like, why don't you move down here? And then I was like, wait, this is an option? And that's when I thought we could take it to the next level. And I'm glad I said, okay, well, I got a better plan.
And then I said, I had a better one. I'm moving to Arizona.
That's it. That's what we decided. But that way, I made this prediction that 2019 was going to be my year, and it took a while, but that's it. That's it.
Lots of issues.
Lots of issues. We had to work out lots of things, lots of physical and spiritual hurdles and changes and transitions needed to take place. But yeah, it happened. And I got to tell you how it ended. It's it'll even solidify that. And wait till you hear the real scoop, the stuff that I didn't know, but you knew, and I didn't want to admit. But yeah, it was worse than I thought. So, and I'm so glad to be done with it. I might have to get on my show and just kind of like do my own like conclusion of that, because I know I left a lot of people in the dust that were concerned about me, and I still left them in the dust. I just moved on. Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much. You've always been I'm a bit fuzzy now on the screen. Is that what you said? Oh, busy. Sorry. Yeah, I have. It's just consumed my time to, moving out. I had my Fiverr account blow up on me right before I was moved out of Caroline. So I had to, that's why I wanted to like end it. I was like, screw this. I'm not rebuilding my life again. And but I did it one more time, and it worked, and it allowed me to do everything I needed to do without just cashing out. So that's where I've been. Right now, I find it very enjoyable to build a life in my fantasy video game. So I've sucked myself into the fantasy video game world for a little while until the truth community gets chemo. I know, right? I thought about that right after I said it. Like, oh, it's something needs to happen. But yeah, Karen, that's it's good to be networking with people, but it really helps when you, as a viewer, share the link, or just if you're on an interview with someone, you share that video on your own channel, or just help each other, and scratch each other's back, and don't make it one-sided, and we'll go a long way. But I don't notice the same level of I don't notice reciprocation at the level I desired. So I kind of stopped doing that sort of thing, and it's burnt me a lot in the past. I'll highlight a new channel, and then I find out they're calling Marcus Schill and Patricia Tranny or something stupid, and it's like, what the, like, God, man, like I thought this dude did good videos, but he's one of those idiots. Like, come on, man. So I'll have to. I wish I wouldn't have talked about certain people. So I kind of don't do it much anymore, and it's a shame. That's how the cookie crumbled, though. I see your point there. It was never a thing where I needed to make my efforts in the truth community a way to make money. But my life has drastically changed, and it's at that point where I need whatever I'm doing to be a way to make money. And so far, it just means that I'm not doing any more flat smacking, because believe me, I love it, but I got to be working. I got to be trying to make money at this point. And it's making me work so damn much that I'm different. But what I was saying is I'm spending more time filling up to be happy in a video game rather than having enough money to do what I need to say, well, I'll go flat smack. And I'm not unhappy. I'm not working too much. Before, I wasn't working this damn hard, so I could flat smack a lot, and I was okay with it. But now I really can't, or I'd be really struggling just to eat. So I don't know. Like, what I'm thinking about, like, think about like this, Karen. If you got 1,000 subs or whatever, I got 3,000 almost. If only a third of those people were $1 a month Patreon supporters, it's $12 a year. That's like nothing, right? But if it was $1 a month that I was getting from 800 people, that's hell, I'd flat smack all day long, and it would really, like, almost not costing anybody anything. And if we thought of things like that, if we were just $1 Patreon for everybody we supported, and everybody did it, the whole Truth and community would transform. It would. Look at Bob and Jaron. Look at Glowbusters. If they just got $1 a month from an eighth of their supporters, they'd be rolling in dough and putting billboards in every city. David Weiss, same thing. Jeez, give me a fraction of that, and I'll be globe-wide touring it everywhere you want to go. Like, I'm making a promo for the Flat Earth event on the 18th, and I'm just trying to put together the promo video, just getting everybody's pictures and stuff together and putting it in the template and changing it up in the music, and like I gotta do all that, and mostly it does it for itself, but it's still work. And people don't understand how much time it took me to just do, like, this studio right here. Oh my God. Each video screen is 44 video screens. I had to put a video in there and make it look different than all the rest. I had to really, this took me like a day and a half. This is nothing to shake a stick at as far as how long it takes to put together. And that kind of time definitely monetarily has not come back to me. Guess how much money I've made on my YouTube channel in 3 years, Karen? Doing the Flat Earth Digest. I'm on episode probably 30 if you combine the off-air and live air streams. Guess how much money in ads from commercials I made on my channel? Take a wild guess. 3 years. So, for all those people that are like, oh, you got ads on your channel. I run no ads on my channel. Well, good for you. But it doesn't, like, I run the ads on there just to see how that number changes. I'm never going to cash a paycheck. No, I don't have the glitches like you're talking about. But it would take me all week long to make the Flat Earth Digest. I'd have to watch 3 or 4 hour long podcasts just to get some notes to put into the show for that one broadcast. And I'd watch another 3 or 4 hour long broadcast just to take notes on it and the highlights of it. And look at Glowbusters 2 3 hour long every Sunday broadcast. I'd highlight that. And, that was a hell of a lot of work. That was just 10 hours just in the research. And then another 10 hours just to make the video. It was easily taking me over a 24-hour period to make almost every one of the offline digest shows. And hell of a lot of work. And then I started doing live streams. I cut that time down to like just very casually watching videos and highlighting timestamps and showing it all live. There was no more editing work at all. It was just me taking notes, and I'd go live with those notes. But yes, still that takes time. What's that? Oh man, the belly dancers, they're still here. They're still here somewhere. I don't exactly know where the belly dancers are at this moment. Oh. Don't tell Holly though. I don't think she knows where they are either.
I haven't started really working yet. I'm helping them a little bit on Fiverr here and there, but I have applications out. I've been here, what, 3 weeks? About 3 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. The first like week and a half was just really us getting acquainted and everything. And now she's helping me put out bids and things. And we just did a video tonight, and I have a script for her to do for her own Fiverr channel and all these things. So yeah, like things are in the works for her to try to work from home and get freed from the matrix and have the amount of free time that I'm, experiencing. And hopefully we get to do that.
We'll see.
David Weiss, JM Truth TV, the guy that's making the Plain Truth documentary. If you guys don't know about that, it's the first real professionally filmed documentary. Him and Shelley Lewis are teaming up to make the Plain Truth documentary. So him and David Weiss is going to be the Flat Earth components, and then Nayland Mercury and Josh Bolliero are going to be the Concave Earth people. We're going to basically bring heads together to say what's the differences between the two, how can we work together to find out what the truth is, and why do some people think it's definitely not flat if they're on the concave side, and why the people that are flat think it's definitely not concave. And we're going to put our heads together and just, that's going to be maybe the only sort of debatey part about it, but it's not going to be a debate like one side has to win. It's going to be, what's the differences here? Where did we go differently? Why did you take that path and I took this path? That's what I want to talk out and discuss. And it's probably going to happen several times. We'll see how it goes.
It's this, when the sun reaches a certain spot in the sky, like if you imagine that the sky is like a ball and the sun's going around it, but it's also a glass ball. So when the sun gets to the side, the glass makes it project the sun out to where it looks like the sun's starting to move down. And that's why you can see in front, that's why you can see through it. And that's why it turns red, because that's from the redshift. Because of light propagation. It's kind of complicated, but I went to the beach in Clearwater and I just watched it, and you can see the sun going around, and then it stops and then it starts to go down. And I was like amazed. It's like when you don't know what to look for, then you're not going to see it. Very interesting.
We are inside the ball, then we are truly, truly cosmically trapped here. And I have a problem with being trapped here because this place is perverted. It's been corrupted, and I don't want to be here anymore. I was hoping that if it's not flat, it's a sphere at least, because I could go to like that planet over there, right? And not incarnate back here. I don't think that we just get one shot at life and it's heaven or hell. I think we keep coming back, and if we keep coming back here, it sucks. There's also something about if you're focused on a star, and then you move the camera and look at another star with the same focus level, that they look like they're still in focus. But now that I'm saying that, and my knowledge of the people with P900s looking at the stars, they're already not in focus. So I'm not sure if that is a true statement, because the Stars Are Souls video that was on YouTube, how you look at these stars and they're beautiful swirly colors in the sky, and they're doing all this crazy stuff. Well, that's because the star's out of focus. There's something different about a lot of the stars, or each and every star, that some of them are different colors, some of them look like disco lights, some of them are more red. But the problem with these videos is that we're looking at these stars and with our cameras out of focus. And until we rectify that problem, we can't make the assumption that all the stars are at the same distance, like some people think. And I wonder what you said, if it's true, because that's interesting. 3,000 kilometers up, they disappear from camera sight completely. Why? What the hell's up with that? And then you have to put an orange film over your camera lens to see them again, because the orange or the yellowish film, whatever, mimics Earth's atmosphere some kind of way. The stars simply come back. It's bizarre. Something, or they're holographic, or there's just something.
They're projected, maybe.
They're projected. We have a lot of research to do, and nobody's doing this out of box research that will break the foundations of science and physics as we know it. And that's supposed to be the truth of community's job, but we're too busy trying to survive, honestly. And I put myself in this boat. Is some of them are trying to make too much money on the movement, and some of them just want to be in the movement, but it's taking up so much time. It's not really doing me any good if I'm just struggling in my own life. I need to spend time away from it. So it's just taken back. We're a detriment to our own selves if we're not supporting content creators or the groundwork experimenters and people on the ground floor with telescopes and everything. Astro van, and I'm not going to stop decorating it till it has at least fuzzy seats and a disco ball in it. But I might do the bus thing too. I think I could do the bus thing.
That'd be interesting.
If I get to the point on the Horry Sheet Show where I'm like, guys, I need $400 a month funding, and then I'm doing the bus thing, and I'm flat smacking everywhere and doing live streams at the McDonald's Wi-Fi whenever we can. Like if that, if the community did that, I would think about it. I would, and that's not a far off goal. You can't do it as easily anymore. They banned the tiny houses. You can't have a tiny house thing. Yeah, the tiny house, I think, is like illegal. I'm pretty sure.
Not in Florida, because I know a couple people that are doing that. They have their own little village. It's like a truther village.
Well,
I told you about.
You
that.
can park it
That's
there,
awesome.
but you can't like live in the thing and travel around with it or something. There was some kind of way that made it harder, and I think it brought the sales of the tiny house thing down. But I was looking at that. Like, if it wasn't that made me want to do it, it was. If it wasn't that story that made me decide not to get a tiny house, it was Daphne Rimmel's video about tiny houses. You gotta go look at that one. It was a funny video. She said something was the reason she's not going to ever do a tiny house is the realization that she's pooping 2 feet from where she's washing dishes. It just won't work.
Well, sometimes the toilet's inside the tub.
Oh, God. People that I met at the Flat Earth International Conference last year, 2018, she just got herself a 12-sleeper RV, and she's picking me and Caroline and Holly up. She's making a road trip from wherever she is down to Arizona, picking us up and taking us over there to the conference for 2019. And that's really inspiring to see a woman that I know she went from like a small van type thing like I was dreaming of to now a 12-sleeper RV. Like, woohoo! So really cool. She's helping us out. Road trip coming up. Yeah. I want what I want, and that's long hair and a dog. And I was going to do whatever it took to get out of this shit. And I would have been happy, man. I just learned how to fish. I'm like, yeah, screw you guys. I'll fish all day. I don't need video games if I like fishing this much. Bye-bye. I was like, I'm ready to do it. And Holly talked me out of it. So if you guys like flat smacking, thank her. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but there's something maybe about flat smacking. We're going to do a flat Earth versus concave Earth learning show on my channel. Like as I learn more about concave from her and the videos she has watched, we're going to be live streaming that and watching it, and everyone in the audience can watch it, and we're going to have a discussion constantly. So that's also another thing that we're doing, just as a way to bring the communities together and for me to learn what she knows. And yeah, it's probably all I'd have to say. That's what I have going on the Horry Sheet Show, as well as talking about. I guess I didn't mention the grassroots think tank to you. That's what's on the desk right here. What I'm doing with the show is getting away from the concave, flat Earth, conspiracy stuff being like my focus, and I'm broadening out to other topics like organ harvesting, vaccines, chemtrails, mind control, hypnosis. You name it, stuff that's really hidden from us, kept from us. And I talk about a topic for anywhere from 25, 30 minutes, whatever, and all by myself on a live stream. And I call it Part A. So let's say if I did a show on vaccines, it would be Vaccines Episode 1, Part A. And then I do Vaccines Episode 1, Part B, which is the grassroots think tank of it, where now everyone that's watched the first part or joins us for the second part can talk about it and have a discussion and put all our heads together like a true think tank. I'll invite people for calls, etc., to talk about the topic for the first show we talked about. So, and then when I do another one, it'll be like vaccines and I learn something else. I'll do Vaccines Episode 2, Part A and Part B. So that's the format of the grassroots think tank. So I hope you guys check that out too on the Horry Sheet Show. And I like to learn about it. Like when I did the first episode of child abuse, part A, I talked about the Hampstead children, so the Hampstead children, and I didn't know what they were called. I didn't know what they were named. I just downloaded the video one day because I didn't want it to be forever lost, and I didn't know anything about it. So when I did the show, somebody on Facebook was like, "Oh, that's such and such. Here's more information." I was like, "Bam!" That's why I did that episode. So now I can do episode 2 on the same thing, and I have more information to go by. So it works. It's working. Yeah, yeah. Let me. The the Sun and Moon. Is that all it's named now? Is Sun and Moon? What's it called? Oh, oh yeah. You don't care about the link. That's right. Yeah, here it is. Let me fix it. Let's see. Let's see. It's gonna look a little bit tighter. There we go. There you are. Yeah, that's a first. This the Horry sheet screen. Yeah, that's the first time you've probably shown your face on my show, huh? Well, your show. Uh,
Anyway, for this hangout, we'll say goodbye, right? But we'll say goodbye after I mean, to each other or when I've pressed the button. But for the hangout, thank you so much. It's really nice to meet you, Holly. And Horry and Holly, congratulations and have a wonderful future together.
all right, and one last thing. I love you all so very much. Goodbye. I had to. Sorry.
Anyway, thank you very much, both of you.
Thanks.